Testing, hot outbound call, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear?
Are you ready?
Make the approach. Plant your feet firmly in the ground. Head down. Eyes on the ball. Relax. That's it. Get your left arm straight. Your right arm straight. Relax. Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time, with the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts. Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you hurricanes, Bensonhurst bombers, and all you Alphalandans of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
Is this a private parade, or can anybody march in it?
The only discussion-based podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Brooklyn, USA. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review, because we will read them on the show.
Yep.
Our home base is the Non-Productive site. That's non-productive.com/honeymooners. And also, don't forget to like our Honeymooners podcast Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. What's happening, Lou?
Joe, 49.
49.
Now, 49 is a tough number.
Okay.
In the world of sports.
Is it a tough one?
Sorry, I actually have to use a Yankee here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kills me to do this, but I kind of like them now.
Okay.
Ron Guidry.
Good Louisiana Lightning.
Yes, Louisiana Lightning.
Very likable.
Very likable man.
likable
That's why
guy.
I don't mind using him.
Yep.
I don't mind using him. And it was also Houston Astro, Larry Dierker. What a great career.
Don't remember him.
Pitcher, had a great career. Larry Dierker.
Was it from the
Well, he
70s?
started with the... Yeah, he was like one of the original, I think, Houston Colt 45s. And then they changed
that when
to the
they had-
Astros.
Oh,
Really? Well, they came in the league with the Mets
Oh, okay.
back in the early 60s.
I just remember when I first started watching baseball, I was a kid, and it was like 77, 78.
Yeah,
and
no,
it was like J.R. Richard.
Oh, yeah, way before that. Yeah.
Yep.
And, so Larry Dierker, another
Nice.
good 49.
Very, very
So
nice.
those are our two 49s.
That's our two 49s.
Okay, Yankee fans, you satisfied?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you satisfied? So, well, let's get to, first of all, to our sponsor.
Yes.
Which is SilkCityHotSauce.com. Our pal, the Jeff Kingfish Levinsky. All right. So if you go to SilkCityHotSauce.com and you enter RX in the coupon code box at the checkout, you'll save 15%. And they'll also throw in a free bottle of cherry sriracha.
Yes.
All right. Support the show and treat yourself to delicious handmade hot sauce. SilkCityHotSauce.com, coupon code RX. Yes.
Homemade, pal. Can't hurt you.
It can't hurt you, it's homemade, pal. All right. We got a lot of stuff we're going to do today. All right.
Yeah, we're going to touch on a lot of things.
A lot of yes, we are. All right, let's go. First of all, we want to do our first iTunes reading of the day. It is from our pal Ira.
Yes.
All right.
Ira.
The problem
My
is
man,
I
Ira.
can't read the title of it. It just says I thought IRE, and it's blank. You can't read it all. But Ira put in a very nice rating, I guess.
Nice.
5-star
Oh,
rating
I didn't read
and a
it.
review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't read it to you.
No, I'm suspenders here.
Huge fan. Hysterical and historically accurate discussion of the classic 39, and comforting to know there are so many other nuts out there like me.
Yes, full grown.
Joe and Louie could become famous with this podcast, except they ain't got no connections. So, of course, thank you, Ira. We appreciate that, you lunatic. And so now, what we're going to do is now we're on Twitter. Yep. Which Louis doesn't
I have no
follow,
idea what Twitter
doesn't
is.
follow the Twitter thing, and I do.
It's got a little blue bird or something.
Yeah, it's a
That's all
little
I know
blue
about
bird
it.
thing. But it's the Honeymooners podcast on Twitter, and we got this. I got an email on Twitter, and I told you it was just a young listener.
Yes.
All right, and
it's the first time I'm hearing it.
Yes, I didn't read this.
Yeah, he didn't read
right.
it to me.
And his Twitter handle is that little Kittner boy. which is a reference to Jaws.
Okay.
All right. Which right away says, oh, this is a youngster who likes old stuff.
Yeah.
So, hey, Joe, 22-year-old from Long Island here. I just want to say I've been listening to the Honeymooners podcast from the beginning. Well, I just started now, but started at the beginning, you know. All right. He's a nut just like all the other listeners. And in one show, you mentioned how you were worried it might be lost on the next generation. I just want to say Honeymooners were always alive and well with people I knew and went to school with. I don't know, just wanted to reach out and say that because I know you were curious. Pat. So very cool. Little 22-year-old youngster.
Keep it going,
telling
Pat.
us that
pass the baton to you one day.
Yes, Pat, you could do your podcast about the Honeymooners podcast from Long Island. Yes. But thank you, Pat. We appreciate that very much so. And it's great that we got listen, we have the 18-year-old from Italy.
Now we got a 22-year-old from Long Island.
Absolutely. Very, very good. So, we want to get going. We got a
international goodwill.
International goodwill. Instead of chocolate, pizza. All right. So, first thing we want to do is we're going to go into last week because we had a flub last week.
Yes.
And I am the guilty. Yeah.
There'll be a pattern.
Yeah. I thought I've had one or two flubs. Louis had the classic, Swami Wiver. But in the beginning of the intro last week, because I always do a person's name.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys all recognize this flub, but here it is from last week. Bensonhurst Bombers and all you Francois Pierre Delabriowskis of the world. God, oh my God, I butchered that or what? So I said Francois Pierre Delabriowski. And of course,
Spanish Utica.
Yeah, Utica. Yeah, him, her, we are.
He, she,
it. But so that was my. And what's funny is that's me. I had it written down. So I didn't just flub it because I wrote it down wrong.
You flubbed it writing it.
I flubbed the writing of it. Like I couldn't have been more off in what I did.
And if you go on our page, you can really see how he spelled it. Oh my!
Oh yeah, God. I purposely spelled it phonetically.
Phonetically, yeah.
Francois, right? FRANZSWA. And I know it's like Francois. Which I'm like, I'm just spelling it phonetically. That's all I'm doing. So that's my flub, and we could have done flub of the week, but we're probably going to have another flub later on.
Yeah, we got one later on.
Yeah.
So we can play our intro music.
So next, what I want to do is I told Louis about this, but I did not tell him what it was.
Yes, I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yes, for the first time. The cable company that I have when I DVR the Honeymooners, I have it automatic, so every time a Honeymooners comes on, just so I can watch at my leisure.
Yeah.
And sometimes you find some new stuff, and it's good for the podcast. But their descriptions, and we've done a couple of these, are ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It was
sometimes, because it won't be the title of the episode like we know, like this one is from TV or not TV.
Okay. That we know.
And it'll have the Honeymooners, and then it'll have like a very short sentence description. Mm-hmm. And then they have this longer version of the description of the show. Okay. And the normal description is Cramdens and Nortons share TV.
Okay, we all know what that would be. If you read that, you would say, okay, it's TV or not TV.
Right.
Simple. Plain and simple.
You might know what the episode is, but you're going to be like, how did they think that this describes the episode? Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Cramdens and Nortons discover that television, instead of killing conversation, stimulates it. What? What? What did they think? Like, who? Whatever it was, they didn't watch the episode. They did not watch the episode. These are people that are trying to be too cutesy.
Yeah.
Too cute for their own good.
stimulating conversation between
the Cramdens
Ralph
and the Nortons
Ed.
discover that television, instead of killing conversation, stimulates it. Like, really?
What? Come on.
How does that, like, why? Because it caused an argument?
Oh God,
Dude, unbelievable.
I'm gonna get a job with who's your cable carrier?
Optimum. Yes.
I'm gonna be the
You're going to be
description writer.
The description writer for the Honeymooners?
yeah.
Oh,
I'll
you'll
say.
30. You'll work for 39 days.
Yeah, 39.
And then you'll be out.
Then I'll be out. Ralph and Ed watch a boxing match.
That's what we need to do. We need to have our own bit where we'll take an episode. We got a new bit.
There we go.
You know, like it's oh my aching back. Yeah. We'll have a thing like Ralph hurts his back, and then we'll come up with a description, an idiotic, too cutesy for your own good description of the show. This is great.
Perfect. All right, we got a new bit in the works.
Yes, new bit in the works, kids. All right.
So what are the new bits that we have?
I know. We got so many of these things.
So many new bits.
I
got lists of lists of lists.
Speaking of lists, I love this.
The new list.
Right?
The new list.
One, right?
The new list.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The new
list. Yes. Do we have a bit for this?
Intro?
No.
A bit name for it?
It's all in the.
No. That's the other list.
Oh yeah, now we got two lists of names.
That's the name's the same.
The name's the same,
That's
right?
the other list.
That's the other list. This is more of the who's who. I don't know what to call this one.
Yeah, we don't know what this is.
You know what? We'll have a listener give us a name.
There we
Absolutely.
go.
Yep.
Like we did the last time.
Yeah.
Like when Shelley came up with it.
Yes.
This is like a real people list. All real people that were mentioned in the 39.
Correct.
The list is huge.
It's unbelievable.
So today we're going to start the list off with people who were mentioned multiple times.
Gotcha.
So who do we got, Joe?
Now I know. Let's see.
So there's what, 3 of them? We believe
3, maybe 4.
Could be 4, but we know 3.
3 for sure.
Yeah, 3 for sure. We know.
And one is where is it? I don't have a clip for it. Do I?
I don't know.
No, I don't. I didn't do clips for him. Whoops.
All right. Well.
All right. Let's start with the first one.
Starting next week. Marilyn Monroe.
That's right. Marilyn Monroe twice. And we all know but actually both were done in the context of a joke. Because the first one is when you took Marilyn Monroe's picture, put it on the cover.
Yeah. That was
you
magazine.
put her on the cover.
Yeah, put her on the cover. We get into a bikini bathing suit, we'll put you
We'll
on the cover.
We'll put you on the cover. Dude, the way he says that. We'll put you on the cover.
Big line by Charlie.
Great line by Charlie. Yeah. And the other one.
Charlie nailed him.
The other one is Brother Ralph when she comes home from work.
Yeah, from the bakery.
Oh, no, that's not Brother Ralph. That's a woman's work is never done.
Yeah, no woman's work works in the bakery. Yeah.
Right. And he doesn't want to do the work in the house anymore.
No, those alabaster hands.
Right, so he's going to try to flatter her a little bit. And he goes, "Hey, Norton, what's Marilyn Monroe doing here?" And then, of course, Norton, where? But that's 2.
That's 2.
Yes.
Now, we also have Davy Crockett.
Yes.
Mentioned twice.
And of course, the one
that everybody knows.
Everybody
knows
right off
the bat. Like, gee, I never knew Davy Crockett was so fat.
Yes.
So we know that one, little Harvey Jr.
Yep.
And the other Davy Crockett.
Now the other one, look, all DEFCON 3s are going to know it.
Yeah.
But if you're not a DEFCON 3, you might have to think about it. And it's from
Matter of
Life and Death with Gersh
and his assistant.
And
the guy says, "This will be bigger than Davy Crockett. This story will be bigger than Davy Crockett."
Yes,
so
he'll be another
Davy Crockett.
Yes, he'll be a American. What is it? A hero?
Yeah, whatever it is.
This would be much better if I had the clip. I would have been.
Yeah, we would have got it right. But then again, getting it right is not
part of the show.
Shtick.
Absolutely, yeah. But he said he'll be another Davy. He'll be another hero. Yep.
Yeah. So Davy Crockett. That's 2 for Davy Crockett.
2 for Davy Crockett. 1 for Cramden. 2 for Cramden.
Now another one, Liberace.
Now we all know which one, which is from the first episode. One of Alice's premier rants.
Yes, she
And it
rants, yeah.
what a great rant. First episode,
Yep.
she gets the stage
Yes.
with the rant. And she says, I don't want to look at that icebox, that stove, that sink
And
and these four walls. I want to look at Liberace.
There we go. That's the first one.
Beautiful.
Everybody knows that. When you say
Everybody knows
Liberace,
that.
everybody, the first
Everybody
thing people
knows.
think of.
Yep, I
And
want to
the
look at
second
Liberace.
The
second
is-
Liberace.
I guess it's the one where Ralph got laid off.
Yep.
And Norton, he's in there with Norton. Smile, smile. Come
That's
on, show
Brother
us.
Ralph.
And he says, "Show us the old Liberace," which
yes.
means smile.
Which is a
'cause
really
Liberace
goofy,
had that, had that big
over the
toothy-
top,
yeah,
over the top laugh.
that big,
over the top smile.
Had that big toothy smile.
Yep.
So he was known for that. So that's Liberace. Now we also have. I guess you can call him well, it's not really a person, but he's mentioned twice. He's
Right.
a movie character, and that would
Well,
be Charlie Chan.
Right. He's not somebody they made up. He is.
No, there is Charlie Chan.
There's a Charlie
We
Chan.
all know
It's a
Charlie
character.
Chan is a
Right,
character,
it's a
movie character.
movie character, right.
You know, famous at the time, really famous back then.
Yep.
Charlie Chan mentioned twice.
Twice. Now, I think we all know the first one is in.
TV or not TV?
Well, I'm thinking the one that most people know.
Oh,
is,
and now back to Charlie Chan.
and now back to Charlie Chan.
which is A Better Life through television.
Better Life through television, yes, or
Better Life.
Better Life, or television. Jerk.
Television as opposed to TV.
Yeah. Which episode are you watching? TV.
Oh, that must be the first one.
Not television.
Television. Oh, the one with Charlie Chan. Yeah.
But in the first episode, TV, or not TV, or just
yeah,
TV.
because Norton mentioned the Galloping Ghost of Mystery Gulch, Charlie Chan.
Charlie Chan.
You know, mystery or wherever he said it.
Yep.
And then, of course, in Better Life through television.
Better Life through television, and now back to Charlie
when
Chan.
he knocks the wall over, and now back to Charlie Chan.
Exactly. So those are the ones that
Those
were
are the
mentioned
famous
twice.
people list, and
And
this
he's-
list is long.
Yeah.
So you got to remember too on this list, Joe. I got all the names from the $99,000 answer because those are all real people, and those songs are all real people except one we having trouble.
Yeah,
having
you
trouble
can't seem
finding.
to.
You can't find Bazzy Simon.
And you know what's funny? I listen when I'm working in my work truck. I have my phone, so I Bluetooth, and I listen to. I have the Sirius XM app. I listen to the Beatles channel most of the time,
Right.
but I listen to the 40s channel a lot.
Bazzy
I got
Simon.
turned, and what was the one that was on? I think it was Goodnight Irene.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Came up.
Yeah,
And it was, but I couldn't take a still picture of it.
I got them on the list. That's Olmax and Ledbetter.
Yeah, I hear a lot of those songs.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, they even play the Hucklebuck. It's Sinatra.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Sinatra
singing?
does
Okay,
the Hucklebuck.
all right.
Yeah. I mean,
On
but
the show was K-Star.
oh,
That was,
yeah,
on the show.
And they, back then they were like people. All different people would do the different songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back
but
then, yeah.
But I'll hear songs sometimes.
There you
I'm
go.
like, oh my god! But I don't know the Bazzy Simon one.
Yeah,
yet.
the Bazzy Simon. If anybody out there, I mean, everybody knows I'm technologically challenged.
Right,
I can't
right.
speak either. But
Which is good
So
because you're on the computer and you're doing a
yeah,
podcast. Lou.
yeah,
That's
so I don't have
good,
to speak.
Good.
So if anybody out there who could really knows how to get into these things and dig deep, if you could come up with something on Bazzy Simon, I'd like to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked up Basil Simon. I figured Bazzy short for Basil. I don't know.
You've tried it all.
I tried it all.
Nothing.
And nothing. Like,
Yeah, Bazzy Simon. All I got was my friend who's an accountant. I got nothing.
From Simon and Obramowitz.
Yes, and I love the show in the '80s. It was good. Simon and Simon and Bazzy Simon.
All right, so that's the four. Now, this list is big.
Yeah.
So we're just going to start out with the multiples. So
Right.
next week you'll get more.
Maybe we'll come up with a name of a bit. Yeah. So
You're looking forward to it.
Yep. Looking forward to episode 50 already. They want to hear about the famous people that they Okay. So now we're going to go into a What's My Line?
Yes.
And this, of course, we came up with where it could be a line, doesn't necessarily be a punchline, but something that you love so much, and maybe sometimes you use.
Yes, you use
in
your everyday life.
In your everyday life,
it just comes out of your mouth without even thinking about it.
Without even thinking about it.
'Cause it's so ingrained in us.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lot of feedback, good positive feedback. People coming up with their lines that they use. You see it on our page.
And I got to take
Get in
those and
emails.
screenshot them because I want to read some of them
Yeah,
on
because
here.
they're really good.
They're really good.
Really good. People
You know,
using lines all
Poor,
over.
poor little old pants.
Never again will we wear these little pants.
I gotta get that one. I
Yeah.
think that might be Kevin. I forgot who it is. But
I think we read that. Did you read it last week? You may have read that last week.
Did I read that last
I think
week?
you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
keep them coming because they're great. But here is another line that I use a lot, and I just love the way he says it.
Yeah.
And it's from the Worrywart, and there's no need to describe it. You'll hear it.
This is very interesting.
Hold on. Let me just play it again.
This is very interesting.
Very interesting.
interesting.
It's almost like he says inner sting.
Inner sting.
Like instead of an outer sting,
It's
which
an
doesn't mean
inner
anything,
thing.
an inner sting. But he does kind of say very interesting.
Interesting, yes.
And I love it. I do that all the time.
Kind of like leaves the T out of it. Right?
Yes.
It's like interesting.
Interesting.
The first, like, says a interesting.
Nope.
He leaves that first T out.
Very
INER.
Brooklynese.
Yeah, oh,
kind-
God, yeah.
Very,
very
very
Brooklyn.
slang.
Yes,
Barry like.
very Brooklynese.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
It's one of those few times he's wearing his glasses.
The glasses, yeah.
But I love that. Just
Oh,
I
great
do it
line.
all the time.
Very interesting.
And I always say interesting.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
I even chop it up a little more just to accentuate
Rate it, yes.
the great Art Carney
Yep.
when he said very interesting.
Interesting.
And especially if it's a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Dude, I do it all
All
the
the
time. If I look in the fridge and there's a piece of chicken, I'm like, very interesting.
interesting.
And there's no, my dog's the only one there.
then-
He has no, of course he doesn't know what I'm saying.
I wonder if he's examining the legs now.
What if he's examining the legs? All right, so now this is gonna be kind of a double thing because it was something that Louis noticed and he was a little confused on what Ralph said.
Yeah, I was having trouble just hearing
Deciphering exactly what he
deciphering what the word he used, and I couldn't get it. And then I had something in my head, and I kept on hearing that what I had in my head, and it wasn't it. So Joe played it, and we basically figured it out.
And it's from the Mind Your Own Business.
Mind Your Own Business.
And it's when Ralph finds out that Norton's making $40 a day.
$40 a day. Yeah.
And it's you know what it is? He says nut so funny.
Yes.
He
Oh,
does,
I love,
and it gets a huge laugh, and that's why you were like a little confused.
Yeah,
on what he
yeah.
says. And here it is.
Well, let me tell you something. Can you imagine how much money I can make if that nut can make $40 before lunch?
So you were like, wait a minute. He doesn't say $40 a day.
That's what I
obviously.
Yeah, and I had that in my head, and I'm trying to hear $40 a day. I'm saying he's not saying $40 a day,
Right.
but like you just said, the people when he says nut, perfectly what just popped the Peter. When he says nut,
Yeah. And the way he points, it was just hilarious.
and the audience started laughing
Yep.
before he got the last before lunch, and I didn't hear the before lunch, and I could not figure it out until Joe told me what he said.
Yeah, well, we watched it,
Yeah.
and then we listened to it, and it really is a great line. Like, forget about the nut part, but instead of saying if that nut can make $40, say a day, to say if that nut can make $40 before lunch. Which is funny, because you're still getting the point across, but you're using a different way of talking about it, which is just funny.
Yeah,
but now
I think it's like kind of like a little exaggeration to get his point across.
Absolutely.
Before lunch.
Before if that nut can
that
make
nut.
$40 before lunch.
One of my favorite words. Nut. I did. Oh God.
Just the way he says it.
Just the way he says
it's
it.
just so great. But now, because of that, we're going to do.
Oh yeah.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louis' Observation.
Yeah, Louis' Observations.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Done one of these in a while.
Here we go. Now, it's from the same episode,
Yes.
and it's basically exactly what you're talking about. You get it right from the $40 and the iron.
And the iron.
It's all about the iron.
It's all about the iron.
Now,
Now-
iron.
Why shouldn't Ralph be Ed's first customer
or second
actually. At least. Yeah. Why did he buy an iron off of the Ed? He goes and buys it at the Spiffy Iron Company. He goes and buys off a salesman out there. Yeah. Why wouldn't you say, Ed, I want to be your first customer?
Listen, I bought an iron off of Bazzy Simon.
Yeah.
You know, he had a record out since 1927, so I just wanted to help him out.
I went down to Dowser's on DeKalb Avenue, and they were all out of irons. So wouldn't you think Ralph would buy the iron off his friend's friend? He's the first one.
Unbelievable. What a great observation.
My God.
It just shows that Ralph is a thoughtless friend.
Yeah.
He means well.
Yes.
But he's a disaster of a friend.
Yes.
Like he says, how do you get us into these fixes? Yes. And because it's always him getting them into the fixes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now think about it. If the vacuum cleaner costs $4.95 down in Dowser's,
right?
What could this iron cost? $1.95?
I guess, right?
The whole vacuum. Now it was a refurbished vacuum cleaner. It wasn't brand new because, of course, Ralph was not buying anything brand new.
No, because he said it was $4.95.
Right. But they said it wasn't. It was a second-hand vacuum cleaner.
Right. But I think that was the one that he said I got it for $4.95. And that was a used one. So I think what do you think they charge for a real one?
That's what I'm saying. It's $4.95, but it was secondhand. So it would obviously be less than the new one. So say the new one's double. It's like $9 or something like that.
Yeah.
So which is today's money is $90. That's a lot of money.
Irons he would have to sell to make $40 in commission?
It's $400.
That's $400.
And the iron is $1.95 or $2.95 for the iron. How many would you have to sell to make that commission?
Yeah, because you got to figure what again? 10, 20%?
He's making 10%.
I sold 800 irons today. Yes. Really? How'd you do?
I met Ralph and I sold him to him.
I sold him 800, and now he's going to go on television and try to sell them for $5 a piece. But what a great observation.
That is,
because it just goes to show that one of the first episodes was how great of a friend Ed is,
and how rotten a friend,
Ralph means well,
but
he's not good at being a good friend.
Not good at being a good friend. Like
he's
he
not
got
good
$20 off of Ed.
Yeah, exactly. 30% of nothing is nothing.
Yep.
So, but very good observation. All right.
Well, you put one over on me then.
All right, and now we're going to do another old classic bit that we haven't done. Maybe we did do it the other day. And this one is it's a quick one, but it's worth it.
Okay.
And it's always fun to listen.
It's always fun to listen to music.
And now, the Honeymooners podcast presents...
It's not in the top hand drawer.
The flub of the week.
And it's always great to hear our pal Joe Fernandez.
Even if we don't have a flub.
Even if we don't really have a flub. But
we're reaching for this one.
We're reaching for this one. But it's still fun to hear.
Yeah, Joey says this is basically more of a... Well, flubs are flubs. We kind of categorize them. There's a spoonerism flub, which you're going to hear today.
Right.
Spoonerism, combining two words.
Then
there's just the blowing of the word.
Blowing of the word completely.
And then there's the blowing the line.
Almost like the stammering.
Yeah, the stammering.
You know, the Utica.
About to fall. And, and applicant. And, that. Things like that.
Applicant is just complete brain freeze.
Brain freeze on, So those are like the flubs. So today we have a spoonerism.
Yeah,
kind
of combine two words.
Yeah.
And it's from once again it's from Matter of Life and Death.
Yeah.
It's when Ralph realizes that he's not going to die, and he's got to do something with the $5,000 because of the story.
Right.
And it's quick, but here we go.
It's not crazy, Alice. I got less than 6 months to live. That's why I stole the story to them.
He stole the story from them. I know. You stole a story from the National... What is it? The National Weekly?
American Weekly.
American Weekly, yes. I stole the story.
Which is based on the Saturday Evening Post.
Is that what... Yeah, you said
if you look in Dick Gersh's office, behind them there's... it looks like covers of their magazine.
Okay.
And if you really look, they're Norman Rockwell pictures.
Oh,
with
okay.
American Weekly I guess, well, we used to say superimposed over. I don't know what the word they use today is. What,
Photoshopped or whatever. Right,
All
right.
right, the word today.
The word today. Yeah, you kids with
Your
your
kids,
8-track tapes and your rock and roll.
Man. Oh, and your hot rods. But if you look at it, they're basically they're
almost
Saturday,
like not mirroring, but it's like almost like an imitation of.
Yeah, and if they're Norman Rockwell's, and Norman Rockwell was the artist for the Saturday Evening Post, and he would do the covers.
Oh, okay.
So if you look on the back wall in Dick Gersh's office, the American Weekly magazine, you will see
use that.
Norman Rockwell.
That's
so it's
pretty
basically
cool.
based on the Saturday Evening Post.
What was it, like a weekly magazine?
Yeah, Saturday Evening Post came out weekly, I guess, like American Weekly.
Okay, right.
So, and then
I
back
guess
then
it came out on Saturday.
on Saturday,
evening.
yeah, on Saturday evening, yeah.
For Sunday. Was it mostly because people would read Sunday morning?
I don't know. But people read magazines back then because that's what they did. They
they
get
didn't
your
have the
news some
internet.
way. They
The
didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
The internet. And that
Very internet
internet
sting.
that Twitter thing, whatever they call that
Twitter thing.
and that cloud and all that stuff.
All right. Well, listen. We're gonna now do Louis trivia.
Oh, you want to do go right into trivia?
Well, we're gonna. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're at.
okay.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're at. Where are we at now?
Oh, okay.
We're at 30 minutes.
Wow. All right, Joe. I'm going to give you the option here.
But now, even though it's going to be the name game, right?
Well, if you want the name,
Yeah, let's do the name
you want to
game,
do a name? I got a name game and I have a question. So what do you want? You want?
Let's do the name game.
You want to do the name game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, we still get to do
All right.
Louis. The trivia.
Okay.
Which is one of Louis' favorites.
Yes.
And now, Tom, who is our first guest, please? Herb. Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer.
Our courier from Parsippany, New Jersey, Joe Conte.
Joe Conte. All right, here we go.
All right, Joe. I'm going to
Now, refresh people. This is
All right, this is a list of names that are used.
So we're doing the names the
We're
same.
doing the names the same.
Names the same.
The bit's
Right.
called the names the same.
And we're kind of intertwining it with the trivia.
Because basically every week I've been asking Joe, and it's turned into a trivia.
Yeah, why not, right? And then you only have 800 questions.
800 questions, yeah, really. So we're running out of 800 questions.
Yeah.
Now the list we've done it in the past. We started out with Fred.
Freddie first.
We did Joe, Frank, and Pete, and then we did Frank, and then we did Pete. So those are like the most. So now the list is getting like a little bit more condensed, where there's only 2 times,
maybe
3
two.
times.
Yeah, 2 or 3
Okay,
tops,
so we're
yeah.
gonna go here with, and this one has a bonus to it too.
Oh, okay.
The name, Joe, is Herb.
All right. Obviously, Herb. I mean, that's
from the show.
So how many am I looking at here?
There are 3 of them plus the bonus.
Oh, Herb Barfelt?
No.
No. So there's 3 and a bonus.
No, there's 2 more in a bonus. There's
Right.
3 altogether and plus the bonus.
Oh, Herb. Gotta give me a hint now.
Butler.
How about? Oh, Herb Basham.
Bascom.
Bascom.
Okay.
Okay, that's from Ralph Cramden Incorporated.
Ink,
Okay.
as we say, Ink.
Ink. Yeah. Ink. Unbelievable.
You get one more.
And one more hint, or at least tell me what episode it's from. That might help me.
I will not go on tonight.
The producer. It's her. Oh my goodness! I can't believe I'm blanking out here.
People don't understand when you're under the gun. Behind a microphone.
Oh,
Or as Ed Norton say, microphone.
oh, wait a minute. It's what first initial of the last name?
W.
Whitehead. No, Herb white shirt. White sides. Louis pointing to his rib, and I'm going shirt, white shirt. Herbert, because it's Herbert Whiteside.
And what's his middle initial?
J.
There you go.
I
Herbert
got
J.
J.
Way. Now, the bonus. Let me just tell you what the bonus is. You want to try to guess what the bonus is?
In other words, there's
a reason. There's a reason Herbert was used.
Yes, because that's Jackie's real first name.
Okay, we don't know if you're right or not. We've discussed this. We've seen on different sites Jackie's real name. Some say Herbert John Gleason.
Right.
Others say John Herbert Gleason. Now, that's where the Herbert comes from. And I want to say I believe that was his father's name.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which then it would make, well, I don't know about the Irish, but like the Italians, like I wasn't named after my dad. I was named after my grandfather.
Me too.
That's what the Italians. I don't know what the Irish did. So maybe he was Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah.
Because if that was his old man's name.
Yeah. Because I'm named after my grandfather also.
Yeah, very nice.
So that was his middle
And there's
name.
also
Herbert.
And there's also, isn't there a Herbert Finn? That's one of the. Isn't there a Herbert that's part of that was like one of the writers or producers?
That I don't know.
And there's always a Herbert that's on the. I think on
could
the,
be. I don't
on the list.
I don't know, maybe
in the
maybe
Raccoon's
not.
Lodge.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you'll see like Herbert on there.
Yeah.
I think, but very good.
Yeah,
that one's a good one.
That was a good one.
Very good.
So the list is dwindling.
All right. All right. So.
It's only going to last episode 70.
Yes. Well, listen, that was episode number 49 in the books. Thank you, everybody, of course, for being part of the show, contacting us. If you want to leave a voicemail, you can call this number, 240-442-2635. You can leave a voicemail. It's the voicemail for my other show, but I'm the only one that listens to it. And if you listen, we'll play the voicemail on the show as long as it's not an 8-minute voicemail of you telling us every episode you've ever loved in your order or whatever. But who do we thank? We thank, first of all, we have to thank Silk City Hot Sauce.
Hot Sauce, yes.
Our pal Jeff. Go there. Get yourself some great homemade hot sauce. Hey, how can it hurt you, pal? It's homemade.
That Chipotle is excellent.
The Chipotle is great. SilkCityHotSauce.com. Put RX in the checkout code to get 15% and a free bottle of the Cherry Sriracha. Who else can we thank? Our Facebook group, the one Facebook group we love, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge, with Joy and Brother Norton. We thank them because they allow us to promote in their group, and it's a fun Facebook group to be part of. Our pal Brother Norton, don't forget, he's got his Thursday Honeymooners Trivia every Thursday. Just look for the Honeymooners Thursday Trivia Podcast. Don't forget to listen to my show every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Called the Conti and Kenny Show. We've been doing it for a long, long time. It's me and my pal Kenny Michaels, who's a functioning alcoholic, and Joey Image, who's a retired wrestler.
Yes.
Who's a geeky tech nerd guy. It's a very interesting group we got there.
Combination.
Yes. And don't forget, if you want to check out my 1-hour comedy special CD, DVD, it's called Happiness. You can get it and download it. And get it at any place, whether it's CD Baby, iTunes, wherever you get it. Just look for Joe Conti, Happiness, and thank you all you guys for listening to us. We really appreciate it.
And the emails are great.
And it's still BangZoom.
BangZoom1956 at Gmail. And we read them, and I actually know how to forward them on to Joe.
Yes.
I figured that out.
Yes.
I took a class. And
he figured out how to forward stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Episode number 49. We thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Night all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.